elites are blind, Arbiter. But I will make them see.
What is up, Goat World? It's me, your boy JDZ, and I'm back at you with another Goat format video. Woo! I finally made it home. The Goat Grand Prix Philly is in the bag. It was such a fantastic, wonderful experience. Shout out to everyone who put that on. Insidious. Shout out to the Garden of Earthly Delights for putting that on. They were fantastic hosts. It was such a great experience. But with me today, I have a very, very special treat. I have the winner, someone who I've wanted to get on the show for a long time, someone who has been crushing this game for years now, and he's #1 player last year, and he's on his way to be #1 player this year. I have someone that you all should know, Mr. Daniel Fitzgerald, aka Lukaz the Heretic, who won the GOAT Grand Prix in Philly. What's up, Mr. Lukaz? Welcome to the program. Shout out to you. How you doing? Thank you for coming by.
What's up, man? Glad to be here. Big fan. Watch everything you do. You're a treasure in the community, so it's awesome to be on your show.
I don't believe that for a second. That's you, sir. That is you, sir. But first, I want to say thank you so much for taking time out of your day. I wish I could have did this interview when we were there so we can be in the vibes, but you were too busy winning, and I was making the videos, and it all happened. But, you know, it happened so fast, but now we're going to take time and do it now. So real quick, Daniel, please. Tell the GOAT world about yourself, how you got into this game. Everyone wants to hear about it. Everyone wants to know about it. Everyone wants to know you. So please, take your victory lap.
So yeah, Daniel Fitzgerald. I go by Lukaz the Heretic. I got into this game right when Magic Ruler was released. I went to a pre-release with my friend in, I want to say it had to have been middle school at the time. I got into the game, was no good, made an Exodia deck. I found my first success when Dark Necrofear came out, and I made a deck out of that, so that shows you how good I was at the time. But then I started to get actually good around 2005, and that's when I had my first actual success, topping SJC Atlanta in 2005 and SJC Orlando in 2006.
Oh wow!
So I think that's where I really actually kind of came into the game.
Wow! So you also have been crushing this thing for an extremely long time. We're talking decades and decades in the making. You know, a lot of experience.
Been a while.
Been crushing it, man. Been absolutely crushing. So I got to know, and I'm sure a lot of people may want to know. This has been on my mind for a while. Lukaz the Heretic. Why Lukaz the Heretic? Where did that name come from? Where did that username come from? Where did the handle come from? Everyone assumed your name is Lukaz, and when you look at your thing, it's like Daniel Fitzgerald. Who's Lukaz?
So Lukaz was my nickname from my brother and one of my friends. It's actually based off of a candy. It's I think it's a Mexican candy. Lukaz candy. It's like a chili lime candy.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I know it's like the powder stuff you kind of sprinkle it on everything.
So that's the Lukaz, and then the Heretic is coming from Halo 2. The Heretic was a character in that video game.
Okay. Now you know. So now it has been solved, man. So real quick, Mr. Daniel Fitzgerald, aka Lukaz the Heretic. Can you just tell us about that tournament experience, man? What it was like? I was there in the flesh. I'm gonna try to record some stuff and put it out. I got a little vlog I'm trying to make, but it's really difficult to capture how cool that event was, and how everything was like a family experience, man. So tell me about your experience. How'd you think that event went, and how was it?
It was an amazing experience. Getting in there and seeing all these people that I know but haven't met in person. It really did feel like this just family vibe. Everyone was cheering each other on. Everyone was supporting each other. We were all having a good time. It was like a big family get together. It was absolutely amazing. It really made me want to start coming out to more of these things. I've been playing online pretty much exclusively for a few years now, and I really enjoy it. But getting out there and being in person and seeing the people you're playing and talking to them, it's just a different experience. And it was one of the best experiences of my life, I'd say. It was great to see all these people that, mean so much to me.
Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. I truly believe this game was meant to be played face to face. The online is good, like you said, but it just doesn't do the face to face game any justice. You had incredible success last year. I think you had set the record on the amount of invites going to the World Championship last year, and now you are well on your way to several invites this year, playing a very specific style. I mean, you play a lot of stuff, but you're known for playing the warrior strategy as well. So tell me about that deck, and if you can, I'm gonna go ahead and pull. You know what? I'll go ahead and pull up Lukaz the Heretic's winning GOAT Grand Prix deck here, so you guys can see it. Tell me about this strategy. Tell me about this deck. Why do you play it? Why are you drawn to it? What's so good about it? And we could talk about this specific build for this deck, for this event, and just talk about the strategy as a whole and what you changed up between some of the tops you made throughout the rest of the season.
So just talking about warriors in general, the reason I play this deck is it has answers to just about everything. There's not a deck out there like this where you can really take control of the game and just set the tone, set the pace the entire way. If you get the right opening, then you're going to dominate the whole game. And if you don't, there are several ways to get back into it. The Warrior Toolbox, term that we all know about. I mean, there are all these different tools from Blade Knight to DD Warrior Lady, Exiled Force, right at your disposal. 3 Solemn Judgment is just about mandatory in my mind right now. Obviously it's not, but it feels like it to me because it's just such a dominant card. So just the ability to set up a field and then crack whatever they have and then set up a field, it really excels in doing that. And I've obviously had a ton of success with it. So I mean, just playing this deck on ladder, playing this deck in tournaments and seeing all the success, it's hard to walk away from something that's treating you so well.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta ride the horse that gets you there. I mean, but I noticed, I'm looking at the deck. Like you said, it looks like a Lukaz build. I see you got those 2 Sasays in there. But you kind of went away from the Trap Dust Shoot, and you got your patent pending Zing Zen Hu in here. And I got to show you guys something out there in Goat World. You know, when I was out there, I was able to really fortify my collection, and I got me. I don't know if you can see this. It might be a little too bright. Let's see if I can zoom in on it. But I got a Danny Fitzgerald signed Zing Zen Hu in the flesh that I'm going to keep with myself. So he put that card on the map. Him and some of his teammates from different time periods kind of revolutionized that card, and he's got that in the main deck as well. How did you miss not having Trap Dust Shoot at all? I know Warriors really love some Trap Dust Shoot.
I didn't miss it in this tournament. The reason why it's not in there is because maybe 10 minutes before we left the hotel room to go to the venue, my brother Soulmaster Matt started talking about this list that he's playing that has 3 jars, 2 zings. And I was messing around with something similar also. So I'm like, well, let's look into that. Let's see what we can do with it. And the more we started talking about it, we realized, well, these people at this event, they're probably not going to be quite as prepared for those zings as the typical player or whatnot who knows that I play zings and who, right? These people at the tournament don't necessarily know what I'm on. So I thought two zings made a lot of sense. So it really came down to a conversation between me and my brother Soulmaster Matt about which of these is going to be more valuable, the Zing or the Dust Shoot. And we decided the Zing was going to be the way to go. And we couldn't fit 3 jars in, didn't feel like it was necessary, but the 2 jars, 2 Zings, I mean, I think it was perfectly adequate and it worked great. I was obviously able to draw it like twice as often, and I was resolving it pretty much every game.
Oh man! And when you get that thing down, it's just so impressive. I got zinged pretty hard by Fancy Diesel. Shout out to him. And it just really jams you up a lot. And then what it does, like you mentioned earlier, kind of mess with your psychology too. You know, you're always playing around zing. You're always fearing of the zing, and then they might even take it out and they're just playing around zing aimlessly. But let's talk about those two Ninja Grands. Did they do work for you today?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That was a really important addition to have those 2 in there. The Spy is such a huge problem, and it's in like everyone's deck now. It's even in Warrior players' decks. So I'm finding myself wanting to have 2 Sasuke's against a Warrior player nowadays. The card it's just about Spy, honestly, right? It's about Spy, and it's everywhere. One Sasuke, if it gets answered, you're going to want to have that other one.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's still just a 1800 light too. You know, you get an open board, it's just really like getting that damage in and just driving them down. I like it, man. Again, Warriors are pretty solid list. Is there anything about the main that you would change if you had to run this exact same event again? Like I said, I was there at this event. This was a very warrior-centric event. There was a lot of control in this event, surprisingly. There was turbo there, but not nearly as much as I would anticipate it. A ton of crazy alt-win stuff was there. I don't know if you faced a lot of that stuff. But is there
not so much.
Is there anything that you would change based on the matchups that you faced, knowing what you know now?
Nope, I love it.
Yeah,
I think it's exactly how I'd run it.
Solid.
I think the main ran perfect.
Nice. Okay. So here's the main. What do you guys think about that main, that warrior situation? I mean, it's pretty solid. It's pretty dialed in. Is there anything else you want to talk about the main before we shift over to the side?
Oh yeah. I just wanted to mention that having the 1 Dust Tornado is pretty important because, I mean, honestly, you almost want to have 2 because, first of all, I don't play Book. You don't have many answers to Snatch Steal. So you want to have the Dust for that. Main deck answer to the Floodgates is also important. And also, like we're talking about, they're going to start playing around the Zing. It's nice to have that Dust Tornado available. I have tried it. I tried it without Dust Tornado, and I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay. So make sure if you're watching this video, if you're a newcoming warrior player, if you're an old school warrior player, you're trying to change your warrior swag up a little bit, 1 Dust, 2 Zing, or Dust and Zing are going to go simpatico. So make sure you put them together if you can. I think that's a pretty fail safe bet. All right, so let's jump into the side deck, man. So I'm looking at it and I'm like, man, okay, this is a very, very aggressive, very not reactive. What's the opposite of reactive?
Proactive.
Dude, my brain is dying. So yeah, this is a very, in my opinion, I think this is a very proactive side deck, man. So just take away, tell me about this thing. Why'd you construct it this way, and how did it cover all the matchup that you thought it would?
Yeah, so I like to main deck my answers to turbo, so be that Grandmaster, or if you're gonna play Dust Shoot or whatnot, and then my side deck has more of the warrior stuff. That kind of goes against what some people would do. I know SDL Killer has seen great success main decking the warrior hates. It's not my style. So I'm trying to really hammer warriors with this side deck. So that's why I have the 3 spies, the 2 brain controls, a couple Mobius. I got the Zombara. So it's really trying to hammer the warrior matchup. But then the Mobius also provides that secondary use of being a great card against burn. Like we got to answer those floodgates. So that's why those are there. And then I've got the 1 book. I have to have. Sometimes you need to have at least the 1 book for certain matchups. I don't have much in the way of citing against Chaos Control or Goat Control or any of that. And then I've got the 2 Royal Commands, and those were an interesting choice. That's also I'm gonna credit Soulmaster Matt for convincing me to play that in the end. I don't remember who it was that started playing that.
Yeah, it was
a Rampage guy.
No, it was dope. Shogun Lopez played him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Shogun Lopez.
Shogun Lopez played him. Shout out to you, Shogun Lopez. He's a dope warrior player as well. He played him, I think, in one of the FLCs or one of the major events and did fairly well with it. No, he did it in the Patreon and won it with the Royal Command. I remember that. So yeah, he put that in there.
So we put that in there as a little, because I was looking at the deck and there's not much hate for Turbo in the side deck. It's all in the main deck. So I'm thinking, well, we've already got Warriors covered. We've got Burn covered fairly well. Royal Command, Matt mentioned, seemed like a good option. So figured we'd go with that. And it actually came in pretty strong. I actually had a top 8 match, I believe, where it came in really strong. I think I negated 3 flip effects with it.
Nice.
I was able to resolve a end phase Dust Tornado to set the Royal Command, and then flip that up and negate his flip effect.
Oh, that's huge. That's huge.
From there, it was huge.
That's huge. That's huge. I'm so impressed. Like I said, I love the deck. I love the side deck. Triple spy, triple Mobius, double brain control. I don't see how a warrior player can get through that, which you did have to play fancy in the finals. I felt so bad for him because he did not stand a chance. But can you tell me about some more your matchup that you had in the top cut of this event, or some highlights that you can remember offhand that happened throughout this event? What was your record in Swiss?
4-2.
Okay.
I lost to James Arc.
Okay.
And I lost to Sammy.
Okay. Yeah, Sammy had a really cool deck. Shout out to you as well, Sammy. He had a really cool deck that he played with his return bazoo thing he was doing. That was really cool. Really cool deck. I saw that. And you made the top, and then you played. Do you remember who you played in the top? All right, so yeah, so top 8 you played Turbo. How'd that go?
Yep. That went. It was a really close match. Game 1 was really weird. Both of us made some strange plays. I definitely kind of torpedoed myself game 1 by setting a Ring of Destruction, and it was my only chance to survive was to get a tie, and that I needed to have my Heavy Storm also go off, and I kind of bound myself by setting the ring while I had the heavy. Didn't go well. I pulled off game 2. Game 3 was the one where I was able to pull off the end phase Dust Tornado on his back row.
That's a cool play.
I think I brought out Kaiku, set Dust, and he goes T-set. So I end phase Dust his back row, set Command, flip it up, and I bring out Sasuke, kill his spy with Kaiku, kill his Sasuke, and then it was pretty much over at that point. I had the the Royal Command there, negated a Deco later, negated a Night Assailant later with it.
That's huge.
It was big.
And just banish, and then Kaiku's just you negate the effect, and Kaiku's just sending everything out of play. That's huge. That is huge.
Yep.
How do you catch up from that? What do you do? And then top four, you go into Gary G, and I know you're probably terrified.
Worried about.
And listen, and fun fact, this is a no cap situation, Mr. Fitzgerald. When they released the top 8, and they released all the decks, and I was looking at all the lists, and I was like, I really want to play Lukaz because I think my deck was real situated to play your deck very, very well. And then I saw Gary G's list, and I was like, oh my goodness, man, I don't want to play him because he's got 2 Air Knights in there. I want to play Lukaz or I want to play Fancy Diesel. And you ended up getting Gary, and I ended up getting Fancy Diesel. And both of the Warrior players beat both of the Control players. I thought that was extremely hilarious. But
I was afraid to play either of you guys. The Go Control guy, I did not want to face Go Control in this tournament.
Oh man, because I'm just looking at your side. You got the Wangus in there, you got the book in there, but I think I had the card. I think I could have done well, but that's really cool. So you go against the Go Control player, and you take him down. How did that match go? Do you remember?
Yeah. So I was able to. He wasn't able to resolve Scapegoat or Meta. Basically, he resolved 1 Scapegoat on me. I was able to kill 2 of them with my 2 Blade Knights, and then call the Haunted my tribe back just to kill 1 more. So that left him with 1 goat. That put him so that next turn I was able to kill the last goat with tribe and put him on a 2-turn clock with the Blade Knights. And he never. That was the only goat he resolved against me. He never resolved a meta. I hit him with a zing really quick. Game 1.
Yeah.
He said he knew about it. He said he was worried about it, but it still happened. So that just shows how powerful that card is. You can worry about it all you want, but sometimes you just got to play into it.
You got to get zinged, man. Everyone gets zinged. It happens. And then you go into, so you take out Gary G. Shout out to you, Gary G. Hopefully you come into the Discord and start playing online. Then you come to the fancy one, the Fancy Diesel. This is a Warrior mirror match. How did that go? I think, obviously I knew how it went, but was it as you predicted? Was it as smooth as you can? Because your side deck is like detailed to like destroy warriors with extreme prejudice. So how did that go?
Yeah, I had a huge advantage in that matchup. I looked at our main decks. My main deck was much better for the mirror. My side deck was much better for the mirror. He was playing cards like Dust Shoot that would be really good against Turbo. And he was a little more, what would you say, conservative with his side deck. He was a little more just, I think 1 Mobius, 2 Spies. He was putting some hate out there, but he wasn't just going all in. Okay, we'll do 3 Mobius, 3 Spies, 2 Brain Controls. So it was like my deck, but not nearly as dangerous for me with more answers to other things. So I knew I had a huge advantage going into it. And there were some crucial plays that just worked out. I had really good Solemn control on game 3. He had played a first turn Grace. Honestly, I blew him out. It's hard for me to even say to act like I played well. I drew Pot of Greed game 1 and then did a Whopper, PK set 5, and still had a Mobius in hand. How do I lose?
Yeah, it's the guy Solemn. Yeah, what are you doing? What are you gonna do?
I had 2 Solemns,
That's dope, man. Oh man, that's dope. So you got the GOAT Grand Prix, you got the title, you got the prizes, and now we are back to this. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna continue on this season? Will you go ahead and get a crowning event? Because you have won. You have won a lot. You have won a significant amount, probably more than anyone can say that they've won in this game. But you have not got a crown yet, Mr. Lukaz the Heretic, Mr. Danny Fitzgerald. You have not achieved a GOAT format championship or a format library championship, or and that is, to me, is extremely unbelievable. So I think that is the next thing that you need to accomplish, and I hope that you can pull that off at some point, because I think that would just be just desserts. If you could do that. But again, this event was fantastic. I had a blast. I'm glad I got to meet you in person. I'm glad I got to meet others that showed up to this event, and it was spectacular, man. But is there anything else you want to say before we wrap this thing up, sign it off, and shut it down until the next time? Maybe I'll be talking to you again, because there is an FLC championship happening this weekend, I believe. FLC is happening this weekend. That's going to be the last event before Clash of Champions happens September the 17th. So maybe you can get your FLC win and then participate in Clash of Champions, or you out there in TV land watching this, you can also participate in that as well. Just go to the Format Library Discord and sign up and get in there and play the FLC. That's gonna be dope. I know you're playing. Are you playing? I think I'm gonna try to play.
I'm gonna try to play, but my girlfriend might have other things to say about it for me to go out of town for Yu-Gi-Oh and then try to play another event the next week. I think she might. Yeah, it might put me in the doghouse.
That might be a stretch. I think I'm going to try to play, but again, I might be in the same boat as you. I don't know if I could do that, but I know you're under the weather, man. I know you're feeling a little sick. Thank you so much for coming by, sick as you are. Any other special shout outs you want to give before we shut it off? Because you got to let the homies know, man, who put you on and all that.
Okay, I just wanted to say shout out to Soulmaster Matt, shout out to Moxies, shout out to my people at LRG, shout out to all my people at Rampage. All you guys have been instrumental in my success, and I cherish you guys. Also, shout out to Insidious and all the people who put on that event. It was amazing. Loved it. And shout out to you, JDZ. You're, like I said, you're a treasure. We love you. Thank you for all you do, bro.
It's nothing. It's really nothing. It is my pleasure. It is my honor to do what I can. I really enjoy this. Growing this game is my #1 passion. So I really appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Danny Fitzgerald, a.k.a. Lukaz the Heretic. Dope Go format player, dope warrior player. So hopefully, if you like what you see here, if you heard something, make sure you guys go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, get into the discussions. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure Lukaz is an open book. If you hit him up, he will not hesitate to give you information if you're trying to become a better, more competitive player. Because as these competitive players are, they only are going to be as good as the people that they play against. So if you're getting better, steel sharpens steel, they're going to get better, and it's only going to make the game better. So reach out to him. I'm sure he won't mind helping you guys out if you guys want to do that. So check out the deck. As always, the deck will be down in the description. Pull it up and play it, man. Make sure you guys like and comment, subscribe, and that's all I got. Anything else, Mr. Heretic, Mr. Fitzgerald?
No, thanks so much, man.
All right, man. Peace, brother. Thank you so much, man. All right.
This program was made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.